Hey, good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is convening hearings today, August the 6th, in our headquarters in Baton Rouge. On the panel today, to my left is Mr. Chucky Tillis, to my right, Pete Freeman. On staff here, who do we have? Jessica. Sure. And we are hearing an offender at Lafourche Parish Jail. Do we have any staff members there in support?
You on mute.
You're muted.
There you go.
There we go.
That's it. There's no one in support there.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, sir, would you give me your name and your DOC number?
My name is Jimmy Wayne Visinet, DOC number 626802.
Okay, Mr. Visinet, you're before this panel today for a revocation hearing. Do you have in front of you a signed document that's your signature showing that that you signed for your hearing? Do you have anything in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me make sure that's what I'm looking for. That what I'm looking for, guys.
Yeah, if you fail to.
It should be dated 6/18 of 24.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you indicated that you do not have mental illness treatment and you can read and write, so you are not eligible for appointed counsel at this time. Do you have retained counsel?
Well, I didn't have a lawyer, and he never asked me if I wanted a lawyer. He just asked me if I had a lawyer, and I told him no because I couldn't afford it. I've been locked up for a year.
Okay, you're not eligible for an appointed counsel.
Okay, okay.
So at this point, sir, I'm going to read some information, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty or guilty with a statement. Okay. So currently you are being held for rule violation number 4, and that you failed to refrain from criminal activity. You were arrested by Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office 7623 and charged with 2nd-degree rape, which is a felony. It has later been amended to sexual battery, which is a misdemeanor, and you pled guilty in court to that on 5/10 of 2024. How do you plead?
Okay, I can plead guilty to that, but I got a statement behind that.
Okay,
Okay,
guilty
we'll let
with
you
a
make it in a
statement.
minute.
Okay. All righty, and that's the only allegation we have against you. So at this time, we'll go ahead and allow you to make a statement.
Okay, did I send that? Did y'all get that letter that I sent to y'all?
Yeah, and we've all read
read
it.
Okay, well, I mean, that's the statement because when I got locked up over here, Brandon Landry told me the only way that I would be able to get out of here was if it gets thrown out of court or I take a misdemeanor. Now, I took the misdemeanor. I would have never took the misdemeanor if I'd have known that that would have violated my parole. Because I was already in here 9 months going to trial, and they didn't set the trial back twice because there was no evidence on me that on that charge. So they dropped it down to a misdemeanor because they didn't have nothing. And back in my mind, I was thinking that, well, he said to take a misdemeanor, I'd be all right. So I took the parole officer's advice and trusted that, you know, he would. I mean, who am I to trust? If I can't trust a parole officer, I can't trust nobody.
Well, that's probably true. Nobody's a good choice in that case. Mr. Tillis is the person who has your case. So I'm going to ask Mr. Tillis if you have any questions.
So, how long have you been in? You say about a year?
A year and 1 month.
And after your parole officer recommended that you do this, you took his advice, you didn't try to seek counseling later?
Well, that was right when I came in. 2 weeks after I came in, Mr. Brandon Landry came and talked to me and asked me if I wanted to violate myself. And I told him no, because I didn't do nothing wrong. It was a he said, she said. Because there was never no rape kit does nothing like that. It was bogus.
What happened between you and the young lady?
Well, it started out as I met her when I was working for my boss. He was a contractor, and we went. It was 2023. They had a cold freeze, and we went under the house and we fixed the pipes and all for her. My friend started dating her, and he left her because she wanted somebody to support her because she was losing her job. She didn't have a ride back and forth to work. Her boyfriend had just left her. And one day we was all over there, and he had found 2 pregnancy tests in the bathroom. So he left her alone. So she, like 2 weeks later, she called me. I don't know if she texted me or whatever. I was outside in my yard, and she was like, "Hey, you want to come over?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm gonna be honest with you. She said, "Well, we got a little weed." I said, "Look, I'm drinking a beer. I just finished cutting the grass. So I'm drinking some beer." And we went over there, and we was talking, one thing led to another about sex. And she had asked me, what was the youngest girl I've been with? And I said, "You're too young." And she told me, she said, "Well, I've been with older men than you." And I was like, all right, well, the only way we're gonna have sex if you don't tell my partner. And she was like, "Yeah, okay." Well, we had sex. I went home. The next morning, the detective, by my ex-wife's house, the detective came and told me, he said, "Look, I need you to come to Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. I need to talk to you." And I was like, okay. So I went down there. I told them everything what happened. They let me go. I went back home. 2 weeks later, they picked me up on a warrant.
How old was she?
21,
And how old were you at the time?
46.
Okay. I have no more questions.
I have a few questions. Okay, were you drinking when y'all had sex?
After the fact, yeah. But
So you on for negligent homicide and you were drinking?
yes, I was.
I was trying to get your parole officer on the phone so we could hear what he had to say, but I wasn't able to. But the bottom line is, if you didn't do it, you shouldn't have pled to it. Any plea revokes your probation. It don't matter if it's misdemeanor or felony, it's the facts that we looked at. And you pled. I mean, so
Yeah.
you have, yes.
I pled under his consent because if
You
he
gotta take that
I
up
would never
on
done it.
file agreement. You do whatever you gotta do with him. Whatever you gotta do, but with us, we gotta do our job. So that's all I got.
Mr. Bithenot, the whole situation with the officer is something you have to do due diligence. You're on parole, you were smoking weed and drinking. Yes, that could have been a technical violation, but you pled guilty to this offense. So we're going to vote at this time. Mr. Tillis,
Revoke.
Mr. Freeman.
My vote is to revoke due to him pleading guilty to condition number 4, sexual battery misdemeanor.
Based on our interview today, our finding is that you are guilty, and my vote is also to revoke. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now signing off at Lafourche Parish Jail. The
I tell
time is
y'all,
9:05.
I
Thank
probably
you.
shouldn't.